Hello, and welcome back to the Nothing Nothing after quite a few months. And I was on my Discogs account today, and I realized that I apparently forgot to film one of my record hauls. I don't know how I did it, because this record haul is about a year old, but I can't find the video. So that probably means I didn't film it, or I deleted it by accident. So it's probably a good time now, because this is around my 2-year anniversary. I'm starting to collect records, that it probably should be a good time I should do it. And I'll be right back once the train goes by. As I was saying, so this is a little bit after my 2-year anniversary, and I've also pulled out a special box. I've pulled out the alternate record box this time. This is the one that you saw back when I had the big haul of Elton John and the Eagles in like episode record 4 or 5 or both of those. My other one is up in storage right now for its to rest on its 2-year anniversary as well. So there's actually going to be two hauls officially, or two sets of records. One is going to be some of my originals that I haven't filmed yet, but I had gotten a long time ago, and I've been meaning to film, and finally I just got around to thinking about it and doing it. And then the second one is going to be the Lost haul. Alright, so let us begin by opening the box, like always. If you recognize this box, and there's a little number for you. Okay, so I only have a few here because you've seen some of these before. Like you've seen the spine or in one of my early videos, or I've mentioned them, but you've never seen them till now. So we'll start off with this one. This is the Carpenters Passage. I've had this one for over 2 years. And as you can see, that's it's an MCA, right? RCA Music Service copy. This was at a point where Richard Carpenter was not doing too well, and neither was Karen. And this used to look a lot better, but due to storage methods, it's not lasting as well as I'd hoped. Inside we got your lyrics, your band, your write-up. Even though Karen said the album was fun, I'm sure Richard Carpenter would be liking to say right now that it was horrible. Well, I deserve an F in record care. Even put it back in the paper sleeve. But yeah. So this is side 1. This one has Wanna She Know Home. All you get from love is a love song. I just fell in love again. And then actually one of my favorites on this album. On the Balcony of the Casa Rota. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina from Everetta. Then beside another one of my favorites is Sweet Sweet Smile. And actually even Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft is actually kind of a good song too. This one came out in 1978. 78. Hold on a second, right there. 1977. Coming up is a reissue. This was the first thing I ever got of Queen's Greatest Hits. You can definitely see it's old. You can see it stinged up in the corners, and I opened this myself. This was a brand new release though of it. And you got all your classics, and I used to play this one quite a lot. If you remember my Diamonds collection, this is the first disc, by the way. If you remember my Diamonds collection, which I showed when I did the comparison when I opened it, the album look is much like this. This one has Bohemian Rhapsody, One Little Vice of Dust, Killer Queen, Bicycle Race, You're My Best Friend, Don't Stop Me Now, and Save Me. And then the second disc has a crazy little thing called Love, Now I'm Here, Somebody to Love, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, Flash, Seven Seas of Rye, Play the Game, and their two classics, We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions. Yeah, the paper glue is a little loose there, as you see. I'll quickly just show the label. This is a Abbey Road half remaster, half-speed remaster, so it means it sounds very good. And then I have one other thing I need to show you from the first time around, and this is this album, Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms. Now, you've seen this before several times. You've seen it like this. Back in one of my videos, you've seen it on the shelf, and you've just seen this. This time around, I'm going to show you it completely. And the interesting thing about this is I own this on vinyl. But if anybody who's a fan of rock music or of CDs know, this is the first album, and there's lyrics. It's kind of hard to read. So I'll just tell you what's on this side. So Far Away, Money for Nothing, the hit, Walk of Life, another hit. And then this is the Brothers in Arms side, the one that has the track, the title track. And then I'll show you the label real quick, as the paper sleeve just fell on the floor. Great. Look at that in a second. But yes, this album actually has sold more on CD than the original vinyl release. And the vinyl release is actually very different from the CD release. And if you can see on the label there, you can see the guitar that's on the label that's on the front cover and on the back here. Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits owns this guitar, or still owned it, or owned it at the time, and they put it on the front cover. And now this is a 12-inch that I owned originally. When I first found this, this was a big deal to me. This became my first promo. This is USA for Africa's We Are the World. As many of you know, I own the single version. I own the single. No, I don't own the single of this one. I don't think. I own the album that it was on. Excuse me. Barcodes. You can scan these on Discogs if you have the mobile app, just as a reminder. And you can see demonstration only, not for sale. All the classics. Before we get to the records, though, I want to show you something first. I'm going to show you this letter that came with it. This basically tells you what they were going to do with the money and how they were going to work. Oh, I had the letter backwards. Tells you what you could do to help them. Give money, you know, envelope, the paper. Like if you remember on my one with the album, you saw they had the shirts, the buttons, stuff like that. That's an example of what they were going to show there. And here it is in the sleeve, paper inner sleeve, and I'm going to pull it out now. At least I will in just a second here. Now, this was on Columbia like my other one, so I'm just going to quickly show it. And the song is duplicated on both sides in stereo, so you can get a double play. And that's some of the ones you haven't seen before, or you've seen them once, but now I've finally put them onto a video. Okay, now we're going to move this. This is what my record crates are in. And we're going to move into the Lost Hall, or the hall where I can't find the video. And first things first, we're going to start with Big Hits, that was once owned by Mike Hollock. Big Hits, Green Tide, and Green Grass, by the Rolling Stones. This is a compilation on London, which they were here in the States they were on. And as many of you know, that man back there, Charlie Watts, passed away this year, a month or so ago now, R.I.P. So I also thought it might as well be good timing. Show that I have of Rolling Stones. I haven't played this in a while though. As you can see, it's in a plastic protective sleeve. When I bought it and had this on it. Well, there's something on the inside. Looks like a booklet of some type. I can't get it out, but I'll just let you know. Maybe there was a booklet or something that came with this originally. And now I'm going to show you the disc. It's on a black disc, so you don't need to worry about it. This is a replacement sleeve, but on here you can see I can't get no satisfaction. The last time, as the tears go by, time is on my side. And on the other, we have 19th Street Nervous Breakdown, Heart of Stone, Get Off My Cloud, Not to Fade Away, Play With Fire, for example. Some good classics from that time period. That was roughly 1965, by the way. Next up, we have Led Zeppelin with Led Zeppelin II. Alright, this is 2. Yeah, this is 2. As many of you know, Led Zeppelin are a classic rock band. Show you the inside here. Here's your track listing. Includes the song Whole Lot of Love. You need love. Yeah, if you know that song. And then here's the thing. They were on Atlantic at that time, so it's not going to look that different from any of my other Atlantic, so I'll just quickly brush through it. Now, however, I do own a lot of these. I don't have the original sleeve for it. I have the sleeve for Led Zeppelin's Untitled, the one that has Stairway to Heaven and Black Dog and When the Levee Breaks. I don't know why that one was in here. I think it was misplaced, but at least I do have a paper cover for it. This was 1969. And then we move all the way to 1975 or 6 with the Carpenters' Horizon. Again, this one is kind of like the Manila Envelope album. And by the way, there's their cover of Solitaire, which is a classic. And Desperado and the bigger hits. Only Yesterday and Please, Mr. Postman. Stop, oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Yeah, but essentially it opens up like an envelope and then you get your credits. And then we have your lyrics on the outer sheet. Apparently I forgot to put the disc away again. I need to get better at this. I haven't played these in a while. And a nice picture. This is actually a very classic picture of them, to be honest with you. They were on A&M, of course, the record label. So the label looks like the A&M label, of course. The little sun faded down there, you can see with the I Can Dream, Can't I? And then we move into 1976 or 1978 with Gato Barbieri's Celebrante. I cannot speak Spanish. I apologize. Feel free to correct me in the comments with the correct pronunciation. Now, I've had this one for a while, and I think this maybe dates back to one of my first videos. I don't know why I never put it there, but it wasn't there, and I'm doing it justice now, and I'm putting it in. 1976, according to that copyright there on the side. So, there we go, 1976. No paper sleeve, he was on A&M. I'll just quickly show you the hit Europa, Earth Cry, Heaven's Smile, which was originally by Santana, but then he covered it in a smooth jazz style, and it became popular. You probably know it if you heard it. And then, since it's football season, American football season, let's take a trip to the best damn band in the land, at least for 1978. And we're going to take a look at this collection, a great musical collection in stereo called Across the Field at its Best. It's not in great shape, but it's nice to own a copy of the best damn band in the land for Ohio State. And I'll take a look at the list here, see if there's anything classic. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything you would really know. I'll just show you the red label, because it's kind of cool. I haven't played this in a while. Maybe I should. No, I've pulled it out. Quite a few of these have been sitting in my storage bins, and since I've had to reorganize and did the Discogs updating, it's giving me an excuse. I need to play these again. And next up we have Andy Gibb's first album. As you know, Flowing Rivers. As you know, I have his other two albums, which you've seen before, Shadow Dancing and After Dark. This is his first, when he came to America and recorded. He was on RSO, like his brothers were, the Bee Gees, at that time. And one of the hits is on this side. I just want to be your everything. And then the other hit, which is right there. Love is thicker than water. And Flowing Rivers is also a good track. He wrote it, and I actually like it. Flowing rivers passing through my... However it goes. And then we get to the infamous Heart magazine. And I'm going to show you the interesting thing about this one here in a second. Just look at the track list, it's all fine. And you're going to notice here, it says, Mushroom Records regrets that a contractual dispute has made it necessary to complete this record without the cooperation or endorsement of the group Heart, who have expressly disclaimed artistic involvement in completing this record. We do not feel that a contractual dispute should prevent the public from hearing and enjoying these incredible recordings. 1977, yeah. So, if anybody knows the history of Heart, you will know that they got into some trouble with their record label, Mushroom. And they ended up releasing an album that they didn't approve of, Magazine, which is what you're seeing here. This is the version prior to court-allowed edits. There's two versions of this. There's a version where they ended up going back and re-editing, and then they reissued it as the band wanted it. And then there's the original, not supposed to be released version. That was released version. This is the original one. These were very rare, and they were quickly called back. The fact that I got one of these impresses me. And then a year later, the same year, Heart releases their first album since the issue with Heart, Dog and Butterfly. This album is okay. They're going a little off the rails at this point, but I think it's okay for the moment. If anybody knows, the band was getting into some trouble. They weren't in trouble, but they were getting into some issues that they needed to, and they ended up having to essentially redo the entire band eventually. Which eventually just left them with Ann Wilson and the other sister, whose name has just slipped my mind. So take a look at this paper sleeve here. Here's your lyrics. Let me get this disc out. Oh, I apologize. This is not their first on Portrait. Their first is a Little Queen, which you saw in a previous video. This is their next album after that. So that's Dog and And we have three more. Sorry. Next up, from 1981, we have the Carpenters' Made in America. This was their last official album that was released in Karen Carpenter's lifetime. Barcode, scan those Discogs. This is a good album, I like it. And actually, in one of the Carpenters documentaries, you can actually see them putting this album together in the plant before it was released. So I know which way these go back in. Here's your lyrics. One of my favorites is "Touch Me When We're Dancing." I'll show you once we get to the label here. A&M adjusted the record label. You see, "These Good Old Dreams" is a good classic. "I Believe You's a good track. "Beechwood" was one of their last hits. "Beechwood 4, 5, 7, 8, 9" is not that bad either. You know, that's a Motown classic. In the same year, we have another Grover track, or Grover album, Grover Washington Jr., "Come Morning." This is one of my favorites of his, actually. Surprised I didn't show this sooner. I don't know how it didn't get shown at the time. I'm really confused how I didn't show at least all this at the time. I must have just gotten busy or something. Of course, if you remember, "The Best Is Yet to Come," or "Wine Light," this is in between. It was on the red Electra. It was an Electra, which was using the red label at this point. Good songs. "Come Morning," "Jamming." "Be Mine Tonight" is a good song. And "East River Drive" is also very good. The opening track. And then we call it paper sleeve. Nice picture of Grover. And the other side's blank. And lastly, we have a 7-inch. "Do They Know It's Christmas" by Band-Aid. This is the American release. I've had this run for a while as well. It's just, I don't know why I haven't shown it when I've done all the singles. Back with "Feed the World." Much like the one for "We Are the World." It was released here on Columbia. So we're seeing the "Feed the World." Again, barcodes. You can scan these, especially on album labels. And then this one, "Do They Know It's Christmas." Now, this is a styrene copy. And if anyone knows, these can often sound very horrible. "Feed the World" sounds fine. But whenever I've played the single itself, it does not sound very good. I think it's coming apart a little bit. I need to make sure. But yeah, that's it. And if I check my collection here, I'll be able to actually give you an update of my total number. I have 189. I've had some of these for a while, but at least now you have an updated number. And with that, I thank you for watching, and now I'm probably going to go play some of these. Well, at least, maybe not. Looks like I'm about to be watching golf here. Good luck, Phil Mickelson. Ciao.